In this video, you will travel through time to learn about the fascinating and diverse afterlife beliefs of ancient civilizations. From the Mesopotamian journey into the underworld, through the Aztec belief in multiple heavens, to the Maori spiritual connection with the spirits of their ancestors. Discover the rituals and practices that shaped their understanding of what happens to us after our journey here on Earth ends. The Mesopotamians. The ancient Mesopotamians had a rich and profound understanding of the afterlife, with complex beliefs, customs, and rituals that reflected their deep-rooted spiritual values. They believed that after the end of the earthly journey, the soul embarks on a journey to the underworld, where it will be judged by the gods and receive its final destiny. Their funeral rites are a testimony to their respect for the afterlife, with mourners gathering together to pay their last respects to the deceased. They offered food and drink to the gods to appease them and ensure the safety of the soul on its journey. The body of the deceased was carefully placed in a tomb or coffin, often accompanied by various items such as jewelry, weapons, and household items, to provide comfort and ensure that the soul had everything it needed in the afterlife. One of the most important and revered figures in the underworld was its ruler, the goddess Ereshkigal. She possessed enormous power over the fate of the souls of the deceased. The Mesopotamians believed that the soul would be judged according to its actions during life, with the virtuous souls receiving eternal rest and peace, and the wicked being punished for their bad deeds. The ancient Mesopotamians believed in the existence of multiple realms beyond the physical world, including heaven and hell, and believed that gods and other supernatural beings controlled the fate of the living and the dead. These beliefs helped shape their culture and gave them a sense of comfort and security, knowing that there was an afterlife and that the gods would take care of their souls. In addition to their beliefs about the end of the earthly life, the Mesopotamians possessed a deep understanding of the world around them, having rich traditions in astronomy, mathematics, and the natural sciences. This knowledge, combined with their beliefs about the afterlife, helped shape their culture and gave a unique and fascinating perspective on the world. One of the most famous myths of the ancient Mesopotamians is the story of the creation of mankind. According to it, the gods created humans as servants to do their work and take care of the earth. The story goes that the god Enki and the goddess Ninhursag worked together to create human beings from clay, and Enki breathed life into them. Another famous myth about the creation of the world among the Mesopotamians is Enuma Elish, which tells about the creation of the world and the evolution of the gods. This epic story details the battles between the gods and the ultimate triumph of Marduk, the god of Babylon, who defeated the chaos monster Tiamat and created the world from her body. These creation myths helped shape the Mesopotamians' understanding of the world and their place in it, as well as cementing the importance of the gods in their daily lives. They believed that the gods controlled every aspect of their lives, from the weather to their fate in the afterlife. It was extremely important for the Mesopotamians to maintain good relations with them through sacrifices and prayers. The beliefs, rituals, and everything else related to the afterlife of the ancient Mesopotamians offer a fascinating glimpse into a rich and deeply spiritual culture. Through their customs, beliefs, and practices, we can gain a deeper understanding of the complex and interconnected relationships between the physical and spiritual realms that shaped their worldview. The Aztecs. The Aztecs were a pre-Columbian civilization that flourished in Mesoamerica from the 14th to the 16th centuries. They had rich cultural beliefs about the afterlife. They believed in a multi-layered universe that included the earth, the underworld, and the sky, each of which had its gods and beings. According to Aztec mythology, the afterlife was divided into several levels, each with its challenges and rewards. The first level was called Mictlan, which was reserved for those who passed away due to natural causes, such as old age or illness. The journey to Mictlan was long and treacherous, having to pass through 9 levels of the underworld and facing various obstacles. If the traveler successfully reached Mictlan, he was met by the death god, Mictlan Tecutli, who determined whether he was worthy to continue his journey to the afterlife. Those found unworthy are cast into the underworld, where they are subjected to eternal torment. Those found worthy are allowed to continue their journey to the next level. The second level of the afterlife is Tlalocan, a paradise-like place reserved for those who perish prematurely by drowning or being struck by lightning. Tlalocan is the domain of Tlaloc, a god of rain and fertility, and was characterized by fertile fields and bountiful harvests. The third level was reserved for warriors who died in battle or sacrifice. This level was called Chikunamictlan, or the place of the nine hells, and was considered a great honor. Warriors who reached Chikunamictlan became powerful spirits and were believed to continue to serve their gods and communities in the afterlife. In addition to these three levels, the Aztecs also believed in the eternal cycle of death and rebirth. The spirits of the dead were believed to return to the world of the living through the sun, which was seen as a source of life and fertility. It was believed that the sun was reborn every day, and similarly, the spirits of the deceased were reborn for new life. The Aztec creation story was complex and multi-layered, involving several gods and several cycles of creation. According to their mythology, the universe was created by the union of the male god Ometeotl and the female goddess Ometeotl. From this union, the other gods were created, including the four directions, heaven, and earth. One of the most famous legends about the creation of humans, according to the Aztecs, is the story of the 5 suns. According to this legend, the universe went through 4 previous cycles of creation and destruction, each associated with a different sun. The current cycle of the universe was the 5th sun, and the current humans were the 5th generation of humans that existed. The story of the 5 suns was important to the Aztecs because it helped explain the cyclical nature of life and death, as well as the importance of sacrifice and religious devotion. The Aztecs believed that the sun was sustained by the sacrifices of human hearts, and that the universe would end if the sacrifices ceased. This belief was central to their religious and cultural practices, and they held regular religious ceremonies, including human sacrifice, to ensure the continued survival of the universe and the 5th sun. For the Aztecs, the afterlife was seen as a continuation of the world of the living, and the journey of the soul after death was seen as a continuation of life in a new form. Aztec beliefs about the afterlife, as well as creation myths and their religious practices, are an integral part of their culture and outlook on life. Maori. The Maori people of New Zealand also have their own beliefs about the afterlife. According to Maori mythology, it is known as the spirit world and is divided into different realms, each with its specific purpose. Maori believe that the spirits of the dead continue to exist in the afterlife, and their ultimate fate is determined by their deeds during their earthly life. One of the main beliefs of the Maori is that the spirit of a person remains connected to his body even after the end of his earthly journey. This bond is believed to remain intact until the body is properly disposed of and the spirit released. To ensure that the spirit is released and pass into the afterlife, Maori perform several rituals, including preparing the body for burial, performing prayers and incantations, and creating elaborate burial sites. One of the most important aspects of Maori beliefs regarding the afterlife is the concept of the warrior's journey. According to Maori legend, a warrior who has died in battle is believed to travel to the afterlife as a hero, where he will continue to fight in a great war against evil spirits. The warrior's journey is considered one of the most important events in Maori mythology, as it represents the ultimate triumph of the Maori spirit and the victory of good over evil. Another important aspect of their beliefs about the afterlife is the concept of reincarnation. Maori believe that a person's spirit can be reincarnated in another body, either in this world or in the afterlife. This belief is based on the idea that the human spirit is immortal and can never be destroyed. The Maori people also believe in the existence of powerful spiritual entities known as gods or Adowa. They are believed to control various aspects of life, including the natural world, human affairs, and the afterlife. Maori believe that these gods can be called upon to help and guide them on their way through life and the afterlife. One of the most famous Maori myths is the story of the creation of humans. According to Maori legend, the first humans were created by the god Tain. Tane is said to have taken the first humans from the soil and breathed life into them, giving them the ability to think, feel, and live. It is believed that as created from the earth, humans are connected to it and its natural cycles. Maori beliefs, rituals, and legends about the afterlife are an integral part of their culture and identity. From the warrior's journey to the creation of humans, Maori mythology is a rich and complex tapestry of beliefs and practices that continue to define their lives to this day. With this, our incredible journey in exploring the beliefs and rituals of ancient civilizations related to the afterlife comes to an end. From the underworld of the Mesopotamians, through the many heavens of the Aztecs, to the spiritual connection of the Maori with the spirits of their ancestors, each culture has its unique perspective on what lies beyond. If this exploration of the afterlife captivated you, you'll find many more videos like this in our channel. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel now and join us on our next exciting journey through history.